All right. Hey, guess what? Good night. My name is Mark Benshap, and we're just going to be on with you for a few minutes. And, we like to break things down and let you guys understand what's really happening in Guyana. And especially when folks are taken uh, advantage of. And not only that, in our opinion, some folks seem to appreciate folks when they are brainwashing them. And we see a lot of brainwashing going on in Guyana. And not only the brainwashing, the inconsistencies across the board, whether in terms of equitable distribution of Guyana's wealth, whether it is fairness with regards to individuals, uh, their ethnicity seem to be playing a major role when it comes to the justice system. We see that there seem to be justice for one set and then injustice for the other, discrimination for one set, and contracts, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars of contracts for others. Some of them can't even finish up a contract of $1 billion Guyana dollars, and then they move on to other stuff. And those are the individuals love to pop up on social media to preach as though they uh, patriots, and we all know they are morally bankrupt. So good night, wherever you are. Tonight's program is just going to be swift, straight to the point, and I don't speak just of as they say in Guyana, water in your mouth. I don't know how many of you, if you heard of that or you know what it means, but when they say they don't talk with water in the mouth, all right? And so I am speaking of a justice system, not just from talking with water in my mouth, so to speak, but from experience and the injustices, not only personally, but lots of injustices as a human rights activist, being there on the ground and protesting against all forms of injustices, whether in front of the police station, in front of the magistrate's court, in front of the office of the president, wherever, even at a crime scene or crime scenes. So I speak tonight from a position of strength and experience, lots of experience. And so I'm not here to gaff with you guys because of any sort of um, personal bumps raised, as we would say. It's just true experience that I want those of you who are probably being brainwashed to understand that the system is stacked against you. And sometimes when it appears that someone may mean well for you, it's most cases it's not that. And I see a lot of folks being used, um, and it breaks my heart. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it really does. um, so let me just as I said, it's going to be swift, um, to point out the inconsistencies in the judicial system, the justice system in Guyana, uh, massive political interferences, and not only political interferences, but hijacking of the judicial system by even corrupt individuals in the private sector, some of whom have paid off magistrates, paid off judges, paid off policemen, and all manner of things happening in Guyana. And so recently, a lot of folks, whether they are connected to the corrupt PPP regime or not, have had a mouthful to say about the granting of bail for the Mohammeds, a $150,000 bail, and hey, go your way. That's it. See you soon. I guess that's what it is. Some of you are happy, and some of you weren't happy. Fair enough. It's uh, it's life. Some would be happy, some wouldn't be happy. But I just want to point out specifically the inconsistencies in rulings and the granting of bail and so forth. Now, a lot of you know that this is the magistrate. She may not look the same way now, But this is the magistrate, Judy Lutchman, who granted bail to the Mohammeds of $150,000. They have been indicted. They're wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies for a variety of serious crimes. And okay, so the magistrate thought that it's within her jurisdiction to grant bail, and she granted bail. The PBP regime, many of them are unsatisfied, and a few of them who part and parcel of in my opinion, a diabolical conspiracy there. And you guys may, at some point in time, in the very near future, may understand what really transpired at the court um, 2 days ago, was it? Yep. So let me just give you guys a little history of this magistrate, Judy Lutchman. I think I've appeared in front of her court a couple of times. I rather not say much. However, let's go to Judy Lutchman. Many of you may not, or maybe you have, those of you who have been following Guyana for a while and understand when we talk about these things, because when we do talk, people bumps raise and then they think it's personal and this is personal. And then they say Ben Shap is bitter and all manner of things, but it's okay. Yes, it comes with the territory. So I want to point you guys out to this guy. I don't know how many of you know this guy, how many of you recognize this guy. He's 18 years, I think, or younger than that. In 2016, was it? Or not even 2016, but quite a few years back. This guy was on the East Coast. His name is Kevin Simon. This youngster was on the East Coast, in the vicinity of Sparendam police station, and so I notice some Gregory Gonzalez is saying she did it by the book. Mark, I'm not here to say whether she did it by the book or not. Those of you who are in support of that would say it's by the book, and you have every right to say that. But I'm just going to point out the inconsistencies. I'm not here to gaff and talk nonsense or whatever for the sake of talking. I'm just here to point out the inconsistencies. That's all. So this young man was on the east coast of Demerara a few years back, and Barra Jactier was then, quote unquote, the president, and his motorcade was passing by somewhere in Plaisance area there, and they claim that this little boy showed the passing motorcade of Jactier his middle finger. This is the young man. He was never locked up before, no trouble, no problems with the law, nothing, absolutely nothing. And so they now, Jactier bumps raised. And so the police were ordered to lock this little boy up. And they charged him. When they locked him up and they charged him, guess what? Of course he had to go to court, and this is this story here. He was initially charged with breaching the peace. This is a young man they claim showed Jactier his middle finger, and they charged him breaching the peace. The police charged him, and they took him in front of Magistrate Judy Lutchman, the same magistrate. Okay, some of you saying she ruled by the book and all manner of things because y'all love that sort of ruling that happened Friday, right? Y'all love it. So some of y'all, that is so, and so this is the same magistrate who didn't play by the book then, but who was extremely vindictive towards this little, African Guyanese youth. Extremely vindictive. And so guess what? It claims here that he was initially charged because he appeared in front of her with breaching the peace. He breached the peace under one section of the law and appeared before magistrate Judy Lachman the following day and pleaded. So they locked him up. He was in the lockup overnight. He appeared in front of Judy Lachman the following day and pleaded not guilty. He said, "Look, I'm not guilty." But guess what? The same Judy Lachman that y'all claim playing by the books and all these manner of stuff, right? Because it suits y'all agenda now. It suits y'all now. Y'all like that now. So she's a fair magistrate. She's playing by the books. She's this. She's that. All manner of things. Okay. Y'all are entitled to y'all opinions. But guess what? She wasn't playing by the books then when she remanded this little boy, 17, he wasn't even 18 yet, 17 years old, no trouble, nothing at all because Jack Deere bumps raised, and Jack Deere felt that this guy stuck his middle finger up at his passing motorcade. His passing motorcade, Leroy White. How are you guys? Right? And so the magistrate that y'all claim is nice and she playing by the books and all, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this little African Guyanese, yeah, we break it down to race now. We break it down to race because reality. Some of y'all don't like that, but reality. So this little African Guyanese young man, he ain't get no crime, he commit no crime, no nothing. So Jack Deere bombs raised. This magistrate apparently wanted to make sure that she sent a message and to make sure that Jack Deere was happy with this message. Guess what she did? She remanded the little boy. Oh, yep. She remanded the little boy to prison for 1 week. Never went to jail, never nothing. This little boy, she remanded to prison. Now, you guys are not going to see my video. It's audio. Remanded this little boy to prison. She didn't say, okay, return to court. Let me hear some more facts about this kid. Nothing. Immediately remanded to prison for 1 week. The little boy sitting in Camp Street prison. All because bumps raised. Not because of justice or fairness, or all because bumps raised. And the same magistrate, Judy Lachman, that some of y'all saying, oh, she's playing by the book, she's nice and she did a good, y'all love her now. Because it suits y'all agenda, right? It love her. Now, I don't mind. People got to get bail. In my opinion, mind you, if the Mohammeds are to be granted bail, then that is up to the judicial system. So don't get me wrong. It's up to them to make that decision. And even though it's an extradition warrant, bail is still allowed. So read between the lines. Don't get me wrong. Bail is still allowed. But magistrates or members of the judiciary, they have to play fair across the board. That's my point, mind you. And so as I reflect, I'm like, isn't this the same magistrate that sent a little boy to jail? Not only for 1 week, she remanded him for 1 week. And then when he reappeared in front of her, guess what they did? I want you guys to guess what they did. So the police now, they decided that the charge was not the correct charge. And look, even as he appeared on August 16th, this was 2011, he was sent back to Camp Street prison for another week by the same magistrate that some of y'all says she fair, she play by the book. She play by y'all book, right? Because y'all love that. But she wasn't playing by the books then when she was jailing these individuals, maybe because of their ethnicity. That little boy, there was no justification at all, none whatsoever. And so she remanded the young man again to prison for a week until we found out and we decided to protest in front of Sparendam Police Station and Sparendam Magistrates Court, where she was sitting, Judy Lachman. We protested, and we were able to get Nigel Hughes, the lawyer for the family, and guess what? A couple days after, he appeared back in front, not in front of her though, not in front of her, because we don't know what was the situation. what was the situation with her at all. It was in 2011, as indicated. And it says here, initial charge, remand Kevin Simon was charged with breach of the peace after allegedly showing his middle finger to the president's convoy in August 2011. He was initially remanded for 1 week and then another week on his return. Charge amended. The initial charge was later withdrawn and replaced with another because under the original charge, the teenager would have had to say something to be in breach of the law, according to his lawyers and representatives. So that is just one example that she wasn't playing by the books. She looked at the little black boy. We can say it as it is. She looked at him, had no regards for him, and sent him to prison. Never had any encounter with the law, nothing, no encounter with the police, nothing. And she sent that little boy to prison. Could you believe it? Oh, yeah. So that's the magistrate. Some of you guys saying she's playing by the books, all right? And she's, oh, y'all love her. Anyways, this little boy, I wanted to find out what he was up to a couple of years ago. And in fact, he did message me to say thanks for the support that we give. And he was able to secure bail, and the matter was subsequently dismissed, not by Judy Latchman, was dismissed by Magistrate Alex Moore, who granted him $5,000 bail. He should have gone home on his own recognizance, but it is Guyana, right? But the young man messaged to say that he was okay a couple of years ago. He's out of the country. He's living maybe in the US or Canada or somewhere, but he's out of Guyana. He left Guyana almost immediately with his family. And so this is a young man. This photograph taken a couple of years ago, took it from his page, mind you. And he's enjoying his life. He's probably finished with his university now. Good job. And I'm just showing you how the justice system is in Guyana. All because he was a young black guy. And let's face reality. That's exactly what it was at that time. Probably still is for some of these magistrates. I'm not saying that they're young Amerindian or indigenous folks aren't being penalized by the judicial system because of their economic standing. You know how they say you don't have much, you're poor. And even young Indian guys are also. But we see the evidence mostly where young African Guyanese guys are being targeted not only by the police, but by the judicial system as well. And let me say, just equal measures, I've seen quite a few of our Amerindian brothers from the Northwest District area, youngsters who have been placed in jail, placed on remand for very, very simple things. And then they stay in prison for quite a long time. So, but we see more evidence where our young black boys are being targeted. Again, not by the police, but not by the police alone, but also judicial officers. So this guy, I'm glad that he's okay. He made it out of the system that was bent on criminalizing him. He didn't commit a criminal act at all. People can stick their middle finger out at Irfan Ali. Who cares? I mean, it is what it is. But is it a criminal act? That's the question. Is it a criminal act? Some of you might say, oh, disrespect. Well, okay, fair enough. But is it a criminal act? And should this little boy have spent 2+ weeks in prison? Okay. Some may argue that Judy Latchman did what she did Friday with the Mohammeds to protest now against Jack Dale and the PPP because she has been sitting there as a magistrate for so many years, and she hasn't been given judgeship. And who knows, she has had some controversial issues as well. But let me go. Recently, you guys saw what happened with this guy, Wharton, I believe that's his last name. Baby Skello. They say he's a singer. Bailey, Baby Skello uh, did something that not too many people have agreed with it. And in my opinion, people have a right to practice their religion, whether it's Hinduism, Muslim, Islam, or Christianity, or whatever your religion is. It's okay. You practice that. And people shouldn't be subjected to any form of disrespect to their religion or their gods. Whomever they believe their gods are, it's okay, at least in my book. But this guy said that it's a form of art, and he said what he said. And he appeared in front of this magistrate. We go again, Jody Lachman, that some of you guys heard of you. He's playing by the books, right? I mean, she's playing by the books. I noticed a comment earlier, bumps raised, jump to say she's playing by the books, but she remanded this guy, Baby Skello, remanded him. She's a Hindu. He disrespected Hinduism. And I don't know, was there supposed to be conflict there of interest? But she sent him to jail. She jailed Baby Skello. Jailed Baby Skello. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Tell me if you guys understand what I'm saying here in terms of the imbalance and the injustice that's happening in Guyana. And guess who are the ones oftentimes get the wrong end of the stick? These guys. These guys. Now look at the ruling of this magistrate. You guys remember Courtney Crummy Wing, right? Courtney Crummy Wing was assassinated. And guess what? Okay, a notorious individual by the name of Grey Boy. Everybody knows Grey Boy in Guyana. He said they attempted to kill him several times, all manner of things. And that's a different story with Grey Boy. But we are going to specifically talk now about Courtney Crummy Wing assassination. And of course, you know, Anil's security guard was arrested and questioned by the police. Um, and Grey Boy was arrested also, and he was charged the murder of Courtney Crummy Wing. How many of you remember Courtney Crummy Wing, right? He was charged with the murder of Courtney Crummy Wing. And something happened. Something happened. And this Courtney Crummy Wing protesting in front of Anil's office. Something happened. Something happened. But before we get to something happened, I recall, when was it? In 2023, Jody Lachman, that's her there. The one in the red hat is the Janet Cummings, the acting chancellor of the judiciary, who Irfan Ali said that she resigned. We haven't heard from her publicly to know what really transpired. But that's Anil Nandalal. In case you don't know, he's the one in the middle. And the one on the left side of the screen is Judy Lachman. And so they went to open some magistrates court in Friendship for 388.8 million, almost 400 million Guyana dollars. This was in August 22nd, 2023, right? And so Jody Lachman, Anil Nandalal. All right, so let's go back to Courtney Crummy Wing. Courtney Crummy Wing was assassinated. They claimed they couldn't find the killers. They claimed they didn't know this. Of course, you know, Kwame McCoy was accused. Jason Abdullah, a bunch of other folks were accused, including Nandalal's bodyguard. But one of the guys that they actually arrested and charged was Grey Boy. I don't know how many of you know Grey Boy. Haven't heard much of him in trouble and so forth and so on, because he was doing his little job there with Susan Rodriguez, who was then Ministry of Housing. She's now in another ministry. Don't know whether he moved on with her there, but they are said to be related. Now, having said that, now his PI, preliminary inquiry, was in front of Judy Lachman. Now, I want you to hear me out on this here now. So Judy Latchman, we see here, and this is according to the news, Magistrate Judy Latchman was on Friday ordered by Justice Brassington Reynolds to comply with the directions of the DPP to reopen preliminary inquiry and commit Reagan Rodriguez, also known as Grey Boy, to the High Court. And this was for the murder of political activist Courtney Crumb Ewing. She didn't want to commit Grey Boy. She allowed Grey Boy to go free. Oh no, let him go. And now, some of you who would say she's playing by the book because y'all like what happened on Friday. Now, I'm saying it's got to be fair across the board. You can't like something that happened Friday and ignored all the rest of injustices that ever occurred, especially in front of this magistrate. Now, we're talking about this particular magistrate. We know that it happens throughout the judicial system. But you can't like what happened Friday and pretend as though these other stuff do not matter because it doesn't suit your agenda, whatever your agenda is. Not gender, mind you, agenda is. So now let's continue. This is a case where Grey Boy was alleged to have been part of a murder gang that went out and murdered Courtney Crumb Ewing. She discharged the matter, set Grey Boy free. I believe he was rearrested, and even the DPP ordered this magistrate, even a judge, a sitting judge, Brassington Reynolds, says, look, you have to comply with the DPP's order. She refused to comply with the DPP's order to recharge, to reopen the preliminary inquiry. Reopen it. She says no, she's not going to reopen it. In other words, to hell with Courtney Crumb Ewing, to hell with his family who are seeking justice. And some of you guys out there telling me that, oh, she played by the books. Oh, she plays by the books. Okay. I hope after tonight you guys understand exactly how she plays. And for some of you, she plays by the books, right? And now this is my opinion. My opinion is not just based on gaffing. I'm showing you cases that appeared in front of her and her position. With this sensitive matter, no further investigation, didn't want to comply by the DPP's order. And High Court judge, the then Brassington Reynolds, had to say, look, issued a warning for her to comply with the DPP's order that she refused to comply with. Just imagine if it was an African Guyanese magistrate doing that, right? Now, what I'm saying, just imagine. And then when we say these things, somebody say, why is it always a race card? Why is it always about black? Of course, it has to be because reality, right? I just thought I'd point that out to you guys so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. And that is why I said tonight I'm just going to be very brief. As you know, it's after, what is it? It's almost 9 o'clock in Guyana. Almost 9 o'clock in Guyana. And so as we prepare for maybe Bacchanal tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen in what is it, Parliament. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in Parliament, but what I can tell you guys, I don't have the $5,000 Guyana dollars where I am right now, but I'll tell you guys straight up that there's not going to be any swearing in of any opposition leader tomorrow. Maybe they'll just have the swearing in of the MPs, and then maybe they'll have a new Speaker of the National Assembly. And after that, they are going to adjourn and maybe put Parliament off for maybe after Christmas. Right? Sorry about that. Maybe after Christmas, because. But then again, they can do anything. But Guyana has to have an opposition leader, so maybe they wouldn't put it off for Christmas. Maybe about a week time or 2 weeks time. What they're doing is buying time. To continue with their little games, right? With the Mohammeds, they're all playing games, and maybe in about 2 weeks' time, Parliament will, the MPs would have to go back so that all of the opposition MPs will come together to select and vote on who they want to be the opposition leader. So that's all on that. But let's move on. There's another case that I want to bring to your attention. Another one, and this is not a case where, you see, these are the things that we had to do. While some folks only running their mouth on social media and Facebook, and these are the things that we had to do on the ground, fighting for justice, fighting against a corrupt, racist system in Guyana, right there, right there. So now let's go back to Judy Latchman, right? Let's go back to her. I want to bring to your attention another case that I actually worked on in Guyana, and this was back in 2014, right? Good. So this was a post I made back then, 2014. I said, today, an obviously vindictive magistrate, Judy Latchman, sentenced Alana Taylor, and this was a girl from West Rumvelt. She was charged. She was in a car with some guys who allegedly committed some robbery. But I want you to hear what the prosecutor said. Alana Taylor, a single mother of three, was sentenced to 5 years in prison for a crime, armed robbery. The police, and now listen to this, the police said she was wrongfully charged. And the prosecutor, Vishnu Hunt, informed the court, of course, you'll hear who the magistrate is, right? Informed the court that he had received instructions which vindicated her instead. The police prosecutor, Mr. Vishnu Hunt, is saying to the court that he received instructions which vindicated the accused, the woman, Alana Taylor. And this was in March 2014. Guess what? And after all of that, umpteen appearances, with 2 years 2 years of back and forth, umpteen appearances, and no direct evidence linking Miss Taylor to the crime. Guess what? Magistrate Judy Latchman, after her 40-page submission, slapped Miss Taylor with a maximum of 5 years sentence. 5-year sentence. Even after the police said, I am not making this thing up, guys. Even after the police said, look, this woman was wrongfully charged. The prosecutor said that they had received instructions which vindicated her also. But yet, the magistrate, Judy Latchman, sentenced the woman to 5 years in prison. Now, I was there in court. I was there with the family, and I saw the injustices firsthand. You guys think it's easy? You guys really think it's easy? It's not easy. The system is so corrupt. The system is so one-sided that when you see certain things happening, don't jump out to praise and say, good, nice ruling. Oh, the Mohammeds get put on bail. Good, yep. The magistrate is playing by the book. Good magistrate, stern magistrate. But I bet most of y'all didn't even know these sort of things happen, right? 18-year-old boy almost had his life turned upside down because he was sent to prison by the same magistrate. A woman that the police said there's no evidence linking her to a crime was sentenced to 5 years in prison. All these sort of things, guys. But when you see, I point these things out about the injustices. Some people say that Ben Shap is bitter. If pointing out the injustices makes me bitter, so be it. If pointing out racism in the judicial system makes me bitter, so be it. But I'm not going to see injustices as a result of one's ethnicity. And when it suits some people's agenda and people are sent off on a low amount of bail, then I don't know. Some of y'all could celebrate, but I'm not celebrating anything. I'm just going to show you guys the facts and the inconsistencies and the racism. Now, let me ask you guys this question. There are a couple of other guys who should have been picked up. One should have been picked up last week on an arrest warrant, extradition arrest warrant. I guess maybe sometime this week that individual will be picked up, maybe along with others, some who have already fled, some gone to Venezuela, some gone to Brazil, some probably on their way to Suriname tonight. All these things, but you never know. All right. So I'm going to stick to what the topic is here tonight. And as you prepare for tomorrow, maybe Bacchanal. But if you guys don't read between the lines that a game is being played and ordinary folks are the pawns in what is happening. Ordinary folks are the pawns in what is happening. At least sometime you guys will figure out what's happening. I'm not going to be fooled, neither am I going to be brainwashed by individuals who have personal war, personal economic war that's going on. That has nothing to do with persecution, nothing to do with the trampling of the Constitution, nothing to do with democracy. It's a personal war that is happening. Personal war. And I notice some of you jump up and, oh, it is wrong. You know, I have witnessed so many persons, regardless of their ethnicity, of course, but mainly persons of African descent, dumped at the back of a police vehicle without regards to who they are. I have seen that on numerous occasions. I saw then chairman of the People's National Congress, Robert Corbyn, beaten in front of office of the president and dumped in the back of a police pickup, and a few moments later at Brickdam Police Station. I saw that. I saw that. I was there. I saw it. I saw it. There wasn't much nationwide outcry. Why? Because Robert Corbyn was just the chairman of the party. He didn't have a Lamborghini or anything, or he's just because he's an African Guyanese and it's okay, it's acceptable. I've seen lots of other folks who were dumped at the back of a vehicle, police vehicle. Well, for me, personal experience, that seemed to have been a regular thing. Pick up and dump at the back of the vehicle. So it's not a new something, right? And what you saw there Friday and but special treatment, and I've seen scores of individuals picked up and dashed at the back of a vehicle. In fact, my ex-wife at a protest was picked up and dashed at the back of a police vehicle as well. So, I mean, some of y'all got to be consistent with the outcry. You've got to be consistent, but consistency doesn't seem to be the order of the day. There seem to be more of a different agenda. And it's not just about justice. It's not just about equality. It seems about if you have money, money talks, and you know what walk. That seems to be the order of the day. And so I'll ask this question: do you think if Azruddin Mohammed and his father, do you think if they were persons of African descent, they would have gotten the same treatment? Do you think if they were persons of African descent accused of all those crimes, that some of y'all would have embraced them? No, I'm just asking a question. Do you think so? There are other persons out there who have been sanctioned and accused of trafficking and all these things. Would you guys have embraced them? Would you guys embrace? And now, let me just ask you guys this question here now. Take a look. Take a look at these guys here. Would you embrace if Randolph Duncan, who is accused and sanctioned trafficking uh, cocaine and all these different things, uh, would you guys have embraced him and accept him and run out and vote for him and support him? Would you guys have done that? And let us go to Buxton, Demon. If Demon form a political party, with all the allegations of crimes, would you guys treat him the same way you're treating the Mohammeds? Now, these are two African Guyanese guys. So, if Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon, form a political party, will you guys are you guys going to support him? Right? I bet you guys will run as far as possible away from him. And Randolph Duncan, you guys will run as far as possible away from him. But race has a lot to do, ethnicity has a lot to do with what we're seeing in Guyana. Ethnicity has a lot to do with what we are seeing that's happening in Guyana. A heck of a lot. But then reality, some of you guys wouldn't want to admit that, but it does have a lot to do with what we're seeing right now. And the reason why a lot of African Guyanese people are, have embraced Mohammed is as a result of his ethnicity and his money also. But Randolph Duncan has probably equal amount of money as the Mohammeds. Don't be fooled. Randolph Duncan is filthy rich, a billionaire, according to reports. But are you guys going to rush out and heist him up and embrace him and say, to hell with you, Mark, what, man? And some of y'all quick to forget. Y'all are quick to forget, quick to forget, and easy to forgive. Quick to forget and easy to forgive. Don't worry. Y'all don't worry. Don't worry. But now let me go back to the outcry or lack thereof. Y'all remember this guy when they handcuffed him? I want to dash him in a police vehicle and all these sort of things. I don't know. I know most of y'all understand exactly what I'm saying here tonight. Most of y'all understand, right? But what about this guy? Y'all remember him, Paul Slow, when he was manhandled, picked up? Look, he was assistant police commissioner and a little punk as a police, a little punk rank police guy, grab him behind his pants, right? Grabbed him behind his pants. Grabbed him behind his pants and lift him up. This is an East Indian Guyanese cop who did that to an African Guyanese senior policeman who served the Guyana police force for over 40 years. And that's the treatment on a minor charge where he was appearing in court. He walked in the courtroom, the court compound, heading to the court, and they grabbed him and lifted his pants up. Y'all didn't cry out then. Y'all didn't cry out then. Some of y'all up on Facebook making nice. But Ben Shab bit and Ben Shab this and Ben Shab that. A lot of y'all don't know the facts. Y'all don't know what transpired. Some of y'all just sailing. I'll be honest with that. I'll just say it, some sailing. But when you point out these inconsistencies and the racist justice system and the racist system in Guyana, some of y'all bums raise. Start cuss. Well, they could cuss from now till thy kingdom come. That's all they could do. Just cuss. Stupidity all the time. Anyways, I'm out of here. Like I said, this is just a short little something to let you guys know about the inconsistencies. Tomorrow is a new day, Monday. Let's see what happens. But what I can say for sure is I'll be surprised if anybody is sworn in as the opposition leader. The PPP is split on the matter of the Mohammeds. It appears as though the plan went exactly how some in the PPP wanted it. And maybe Irfan Ali has a soft spot for the Mohammeds. And so Jack Dale is the hardliner when it comes to the Mohammeds. So we will see what else plays out. But, you never know. It could be the guys, U.S. law enforcement agencies are not too pleased with what played out there. And maybe for good reasons, who knows? But if Anil is playing games, they will soon find out. Sorry, I had to say that, but I'm gonna go. It's Sunday night, and y'all have a great week, as Coco has said. Y'all have a great week. I'm out of here. Civic, hope all is well. Those of you, if you're celebrating your birthday, happy birthday. And guess what? Adam Harris celebrated his birthday yesterday. Um, if you all have Adam Harris as your friend on Facebook, wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to Adam Harris and to all of you guys. I hope tonight's program is a reminder of the injustice that's happening in Guyana and the favoritism and who got money can buy out the judicial system, buy out the police force and all sort of things. But some of y'all ain't gonna, I hope some of y'all wake up. Seriously. I hope some of y'all wake up. Y'all got to fight for people who fight for y'all. Y'all got to fight for people who has been fighting for y'all. Y'all got to fight for people who actually care about y'all. That's all I say, right? Sorry, I had to say that. But I'll be back tomorrow night and straight up right here on 107.1 FM. God bless you all. Take care.